So here's the situation. I am moving across the country in 2 months, and I have 2 big old boxes of fabric that I do not really want to lug with me across 5 states. So basically, in the next 2 months, I would like to use up as much of this fabric as possible. And we're starting today. I'm also gonna need your input on the next part of this series later on in this video, so please weigh in when we get to it. This week's project was a pretty easy starting point. It is making one of these ruffled tote bags. Okay, let's get started. Alright, first up, we are just cutting out our pieces. And I actually chose 2 different fabrics because I just thought like a little contrast ruffle edge, a pink and red moment, would be cute. To start, we're cutting 2 rectangles in the size and shape we want the tote bag to be. And then I'm saving the rest of this fabric for the straps. We're gonna get to that later. Then for the ruffle, we just have to make a really long strip of fabric. Obviously, it's going around the sides and the bottom of the bag, and I made it twice that length, so we'll be able to scrunch together and create a nice voluminous ruffle that will still be long enough for the perimeter of the bag. I didn't actually have any fabric quite long enough for that strip, so I just cut out 2 strips to attach together to make into one long strip. I also made the strips double the width I want the ruffle to be because we're gonna fold it in half so we won't have the wrong side of the fabric showing. Alright, now it is time to assemble this long strip. First, like I said, I had to attach my 2 shorter strips together at the ends, right sides together, to create this long worm of fabric. Then I just folded the whole thing in half, wrong sides together, and sewed it all closed along that edge to finish off the strip and have only the right side of the fabric showing. Finally, just to finish off the ends, I kind of folded them inside of the tube that we had and then just sewed it shut with a little straight stitch with the raw hems folded inside. And here is our final strip. As you can see, the raw hem is showing on one side, but that side will be hidden inside of the bag, so this is good to go. Before we move on to the sewing, I just want to mention a mistake I made that you can avoid. I pinned and sewed the ruffle all the way up to that edge of where the top of the bag is going to be, but you should actually start sewing the ruffle on like 1 centimeter down from where that top hem is going to be so that you have room to hem the top later. Okay, with that said, let's move on to sewing the ruffle down. First, the setup. You are pinning the ruffle to the right side of one half of the tote, and you are pinning it so that the ruffle is facing inward and that raw hem is lined up with the raw hem of the tote square. Next is the most intensive part, I guess, to just evenly distribute the ruffle, make it ruffly, make it equally ruffly throughout the whole edge. So this was my process. To start, I took a length of the strip that was twice the length of one of the sides of the bag and then pinned each end of that section to the corners of that side of the bag. Then I took the midpoint of that ruffle strip section and pinned that down to the midpoint of the tote bag edge. Then I continued to find the midpoint on the strip between 2 pinned spots and pinned that point down to the midpoint on the tote bag edge between those 2 pinned spots until everything was pinned down and evenly distributed as best it could be. This is so hard to explain with words, so I made a little diagram to go with the footage, and I hope altogether it's clear, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. Anyway, then I did that same process for the other 2 sides, until finally our ruffle was pinned down evenly around the whole edge. So this is the part where I began to struggle, because both of these fabrics are quite thick, and now they're layered and folded and ruffled, and we're trying to sew through like 1 centimeter of fabric. I don't know why I thought, let's just try the sewing machine. Let's give her a chance. See if she can rise to the challenge. She could not. So I had to sew it all by hand. Am I a good hand sewer? Absolutely not. No. Especially not through 5 layers of thick fabric that are bunched and ruffled and twisted up to the point of looking a little intestinal. So please do not judge my horribly uneven stitches. They will not be visible. They're doing the job. I'm doing my best. Okay? God. Why are you judging my stitches? That's so rude of you. So yes, as I said, I just sewed all the way around the edges by hand, like so. It took a while, but I got to listen to my favorite podcast while doing it. And finally, when the ruffle was all sewed on, miraculously, it looked the way it was supposed to. Alright, now we have to attach the other half of this tote. To do this, I just laid the other half on top of what we have so far, right sides together, and made sure all the ruffles were fully tucked inside. Then I just pinned it down around the edges, and again, I cannot stress enough how perfectly easy this would have been if I had just used regular thickness fabric. But unfortunately, in my case, this literally looks like a layer of lasagna. So once again, there was simply no way my sewing machine was going through that. So again, I had to hand sew it. Again, it looks real bad, but again, it's not going to be visible, and it's doing the job. Finally, once I had sewn all the way around, I turned it right side out, and voila! Look how good it looks. Are you shocked? I was honestly shocked. Considering how bad the inside hem looks, like, this is miraculous. I'm so proud. Alright, finally, all we have left to do is make the straps and attach them and hem the top. First, for the straps, I took the fabric I had saved from earlier and cut it into 2 strap length rectangles that were also twice the intended strap width. Once we had our straps cut out, we are folding them in half right sides together and just sewing them closed with a straight stitch to make 2 little tubes, then turning those tubes right side out. Now, if you're tired of sewing, you could just stop here, and that would be fine. But just for a more professional, clean look, because I had to compensate for the inside stitching, I also did a top stitch down each side of the strap just to make it nice and flat and neat. Alright, finally, it is time to attach our straps and hem the top edge. And then we'll be done. I didn't want my straps attached by just one straight stitch across. That felt like it would be too floppy and insecure. But I also wanted the stitches to look clean. I didn't want like just extra stitching where the straps would be. So I decided to go with 2 straight stitches all the way across each side of the bag, one along the top to hem and attach the strap, and then another about 1 inch down just to further reinforce the strap attachment. So to do all this, I just pinned the hem down, pinned the straps where I wanted them to go along the hem, and then also pinned that extra inch of strap down near the bottom. Finally, I sewed a straight stitch across each side, 1 inch down from the hem, and then along the hem to hem it and double attach the straps. Okay, y'all, with that, we're finally done. But before I show you the final product, I need your opinion on something. What should I make next? So, to have you all weigh in, I'm going to show you some of my other scrap fabrics, tell you my ideas for them, and then you let me know which one you want to see next. First up, we have this fish fabric. This is giving like dad fishing shirt, obviously, but I thought it would be really funny to make like a dress out of it, just because like fish dress, that's comedy gold. What more could you want? I want a fish dress. Option number 2 is this really fun sort of tropical print fabric that I think would be really cute as a little matching set, maybe like a skirt and a tank top. And finally, this very structured, thicker gold fabric, which I am a little wary of after my thick fabric struggles on this current project. But I think this could be so cool as like a bubble skirt. I feel like it could be very like space agey, but I'm also open to other ideas. So please let me know in the comments which fabric you want to see me work with next, and if you have any ideas for them besides the ones that I said. All right, you've waited long enough. Thank you so much for your patience. Finally, here it is, the final product. Wow, I truly love how this turned out, and also cannot believe how much effort it took me for one simple tote bag. One more time, say it with me, kids. If you're making this project, do not use what? Thick fabric. Exactly. All right, y'all, let me know what you think of this bag in the comments and which fabric/sewing project you want to see me do next. Also, if any of you do make this from this struggle of a tutorial, I would be so honored and so excited, and I would really love to see. So feel free to DM me a pic or tag me on Instagram at beepworld. Oh, and I heard if you like, comment, and subscribe, you will have only success with your future sewing endeavors. All right, thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. Put a thread emoji in the comments if you're still here. Yeah, that's all. Okay, bye.